Hi, I'm Brian with AQ Lighting. I'm out here today to introduce AQ Lighting's new LED tile light. This tile light is designed to give even backlighting throughout your translucent solid surfaces, such as a quartzite countertop that we will be preparing this island for today. There is an LED strip along one edge that illuminates an internal core, making a nice even glow. They come in 12-inch by 12-inch squares. It can be cut anywhere that is parallel to the LED strip, like this one that we already cut to the exact size that we needed. When cutting perpendicular through the strip, there are very specific cut marks that must be maintained. The first cut mark is 1 9/16 inches. You have to cut to the right of the mark. If you cut to the left of the mark, you'll burn out that section. Here's an example of a tile that was cut in the wrong place. You can see where the last inch is not lit up. Each tile draws approximately 2 watts or 0.16 amps with a 12-volt DC input. This island that I'll be working on today requires 18 tiles. So 18 times 2 watts per tile is 36 watts. I have a 72 watt driver, so I know that power won't be an issue. AQL's tile light is 3/8 of an inch thick, so we used 3/8 inch thick plywood, giving us a total thickness of 3/4 of an inch, which will easily be hidden by the edge detail. When you're laying out the tiles for your projects, there are several rules of thumb to consider. Avoid placing the LED strips back to back. Placing a cut edge on the perimeter will give maximum illumination to the edge detail. Corner pieces may have to be cut in both directions, so it's always nice when the dimensions are pre-planned to work with the factory cut marks. So with taking everything into consideration, I've laid out the subtop. I've marked each tile location with an arrow to indicate the direction that the LED strip will face. I did this to determine which corner I need to prep for the feed wires. I have to prep for the feed wires for 2 reasons. One, they're secured to the back of the tile with a small dab of silicone, which I need to router out about 1/8 inch of material so the tile will lay flat. I also have to provide an area where I can make all the necessary electrical connections. There are many different ways to wire up the tile. One way is to drill a hole in every corner, pass the wires through, and do all the wiring from below. Another way is to router out the corners and a pathway from tile to tile so that you can run the wire and make the connections within the routed areas. I'm using a combination of both. I've routed out the corners, I drilled holes all the way through, and then I routed pathways to connect them. So the next step is to make all the cuts. I'm going to start with this corner tile. My first cut is 9 5/16. It's going to be cutting right through the LED strip. My second cut is 10 3/8. It's easier to cut placing the finished side down so that the wires in the silicone don't interfere with sliding it through the table saw. Now I'm ready to start wiring. I'm going to start right here in this corner because our driver is located underneath the sink cabinet here. I have my positive wire and my negative wire coming from my driver. I'm going to have 2 runs. I'm going to have 1 run coming down this way, feeding these 2 rows here. I'm going to have a second feed that comes around the sink this way and feeds the outside row of light panels. Okay, so I'm just going to take all my negative wires. I'm going to wire nut them together. You'll notice that I didn't router grooves around the sink. This is because the sink is still removable. So I'm going to pull it out and I'll be able to easily wire my way around the opening. I have the wires from the driver, 2 sets of feed wires, and the positive and negative wires from the tiles. Wire nut all the negatives together, the positives, and then I'll go ahead and test it. There, that looks great. After I wire all the tiles, I'll go back through and add some adhesive. The color of adhesive for securing the light tiles to the subtop really isn't that critical. However, you must use a clear adhesive for securing the slab to the light tiles. Well, as you can see, I'm almost finished. I've done all the wiring, everything turned on, it looks great. I have not secured it yet with some silicone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through, I'm going to lift each tile, put a couple beads of silicone, just enough to secure it down, and that'll be it. I'll go through to each one. The next step is our fabricator is going to come in, make a little template, and they'll get the stone ready to go. For more information about this product, go to aqlighting.com or call the number below.